Moscow has been thrust into chaos as the city faced an unprecedented swarm of drones, an attack unlike anything it has seen in its modern history. Hundreds of unmanned aerial vehicles descended upon the capital, overwhelming air defenses and sending shockwaves throughout the nation. The sheer scale of the assault stunned both citizens and officials, leaving many to wonder how such a vast and coordinated strike could have reached the heart of Russia's most guarded city. This is not just a simple military incident. It is a demonstration of evolving technology, strategy, and the changing face of warfare itself. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Future X USA channel. Please subscribe and like my videos as we take a deep dive into the most significant events shaping the future of technology, defense, and geopolitics. Today we are breaking down the Moscow drone swarm attack, an incident that not only disrupted daily life, but also forced military analysts worldwide to rethink the boundaries of modern combat. What happened here is not just a headline. It is a real-world stress test of both human resilience and technological capability. From the outside, the scene was apocalyptic. Residents reported skies filled with flashing lights as drones streaked across the night horizon, some exploding midair as defense systems scrambled to respond. The exterior perspective paints a picture of chaos. Sirens wailed, air raid alerts echoed, and the once calm skyline of Moscow was punctuated by fireballs and anti-aircraft tracers. For many, the exterior of the city transformed instantly from a bustling European capital into what looked like a futuristic battlefield. Streets were deserted as people sheltered indoors, and videos shared online revealed fragments of drones scattered on rooftops, in parks, and even embedded in residential structures. The exterior reality was not simply one of destruction, but of psychological warfare, reminding citizens that even their capital was no longer untouchable. If we shift to the interior side of the event, the experience was just as terrifying, though in a different way. Families huddled inside their apartments listening to explosions nearby, their windows rattling with each impact. The interior atmosphere was defined by fear, uncertainty, and constant updates through social media feeds. Many described the surreal feeling of being trapped indoors while the outside world turned into a combat zone. The interiors of Moscow's buildings became temporary shelters, safe zones, where ordinary life came to a standstill. This short glimpse into the interior perspective highlights how war and technology, when combined, can penetrate not just the city's defenses, but also the psychological defenses of its people. Performance is where the story becomes even more striking. The drone swarm was not just a random set of machines, it was a coordinated, high-performance display of modern warfare technology. Each drone carried out a specific role, some serving as decoys to overload radar, others carrying small explosives, and still others designed to record footage or disrupt communications. The performance was almost theatrical in its execution, revealing careful planning, synchronized timing, and an understanding of Russia's defense vulnerabilities. By sending dozens, even hundreds of drones simultaneously, the attackers exploited the performance limits of air defense systems that are usually optimized to handle smaller, less complex threats. This was not a low-tech raid. It was a performance designed to test and expose weaknesses on one of the world's most guarded stages. Safety features, ironically, played a dual role in this attack. On one hand, Moscow's air defense systems, from Panzer units to electronic jamming devices, were the city's built-in safety measures designed to intercept such attacks. These systems did manage to neutralize a significant portion of the incoming swarm, preventing catastrophic damage to key infrastructure. On the other hand, the drones themselves often carried built-in safety redundancies such as GPS navigation, obstacle avoidance, and load detection flight profiles that made them harder to intercept. In many ways, the safety features of these machines ensured that even when shot down, they could still pose risks, either by detonating small warheads upon impact or scattering debris across civilian zones. Soon, the duality of safety here illustrates the paradox of technology. What protects one side can simultaneously endanger another. Now we're at its unique selling points, the aspects that make it stand out from any previous attack. This was the largest drone assault Moscow has ever experienced, and its uniqueness lies in its scale, precision, and psychological impact. Unlike conventional missile strikes, drones can be deployed cheaply in large numbers and with varying capabilities. The attackers demonstrated that with relatively low investment, they could force Russia to expend vast amounts of resources on defense. The unique selling point here is asymmetry. Small, inexpensive drones overwhelming billion-dollar defense networks. Another unique factor was the way the swarm operated almost like a living organism, communicating, adapting, and saturating defense coverage. It was not just a technological feat, but a glimpse into the future of warfare, where swarms replace armies and software becomes the general commanding the battlefield. Price is where the disparity becomes even more shocking. The estimated cost of producing and deploying these drones ranges from a few thousand to perhaps tens of thousands of dollars per unit, depending on the model and capabilities. In contrast, Russia's cost of intercepting them was exponentially higher. Each missile launched from a Pantsir system can cost upwards of $100,000, and electronic warfare operations drain both financial and logistical resources. This means the attackers spent relatively little to cause massive disruption, while Russia was forced to spend disproportionately more to defend itself. The economics of this battle highlight a harsh truth. In modern conflict, cost-effectiveness can outweigh brute force, and drones embody that principle perfectly. As we move toward a conclusion, what does this attack mean for Moscow, for Russia, and for the wider world? First, it shows that no city, regardless of its defenses, is immune to modern drone warfare. The attack shattered the illusion of invulnerability and introduced a new level of insecurity into the daily lives of citizens. Second, it marks a turning point in the evolution of war. Drones are no longer side tools. They are central weapons capable of altering the balance of power. Third, it forces a reconsideration of strategy. Nations must now rethink how to defend against swarms, not just isolated strikes. Artificial intelligence, rapid response countermeasures, and layered defense systems will be critical in the future. And finally, this incident is a wake-up call not just for Russia, but for every major city in the world. The skies above are no longer empty. They are potential battlegrounds, and the price of being unprepared is now higher than ever. For Moscow, the drone swarm attack will remain a scar on its narrative of strength and control. For the rest of us, it is a lesson in adaptation, resilience, and the relentless march of technology. Warfare has entered a new chapter, one where small machines carry big consequences, and where the battlefield is no longer confined to distant front lines, but extends into the very heart of our cities. As we reflect on this unprecedented assault, one thing is clear. The age of drone warfare is here, and it is rewriting the rules of conflict before our very eyes.